Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to Synchronicity Web TV. I am your host, Nadiya Shah, and this is your moment of synchronicity. Well, I'm so excited to celebrate with you today once again, my dear friend, Yuriria Robles. Now, Yuriria is so brilliant. She is one of the very few people that I consider my astrologer. Because she's the person I go to when something's happening in my chart, and sometimes when it isn't, and I'll say, look, this is happening in my life. She will point things out in my chart that just blow my mind. Her interpretations are incredible. And that's why I was so excited to work with her as well. And we did actually work together a few times, but one of the more notable, very special projects we did together was our book called Mayan Astrology, because of course Yuriria is one of the world leading experts in Mayan astrology on the planet today. And so we had a lot of conversations, a lot of back and forth. The wisdom that you get in the book Mayan Astrology is her wisdom, but it's put into my words. And so I hope that you are enjoying that, and you can get that on Amazon right now or at synchronicitypublications.com. And now Yuriria is coming back to Synchronicity University. This is huge. Yuriria is going to be teaching a 5-week course on Mayan astrology. You are going to understand this very special indigenous perspective of the sky through someone who is right there, who knows so much. And so, yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to hang out as friends, as sisters, and talk Mayan astrology and so much more. So, Yuriria, welcome again. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, dearest. It's a pleasure. And from my heart, I love you. And I do appreciate all the sharing you do with me and our work together. It's been an amazing journey. And I hope to share it with everybody in your channel, your friends and fans. I'm sure they will get a lot of perspective from this course. So I'm very grateful to you, very eager to give the course.
I'm so excited about your course because I know how much I learned just in the conversations we had, the notes that you shared with me. And it was just so fascinating on one level. But also, I've talked to you about how called I felt to Mexico. I lived there for 10 years, and it really was the Mayan spirituality and astrology and wanting to learn more about it that I felt drew me there. And I think in many ways, my work with you was kind of like the culmination, right? Where I really got to really understand Mayan astrology and the sky. Of course, nowhere near as much as you do, but I gained so much through understanding Mayan astrology from your wisdom and your knowledge and your perspective.
Thank you, dearest. I think I agree with you. It was a combination of a long journey for you, living in the zone, in the Mayan zone. You did visit a lot of Mayan people, Mayan shamans, and Mayan sites. So you have the complete understanding of what I was saying, and you get to see it firsthand all the time. So of course the book is a success in that regards of your life and whatever experience you have in there. And I'm so grateful you listen of everything, because sometimes scholars or people that study a lot tend to forget people. And you really brought that very close to the people through the book. So I should think that people will learn to see the sky in a different way.
It's wonderful. That's part of the feedback, certainly, that people see the sky differently as a result of the understanding of their Mayan sun sign. And we also touch on compatibility as well in that book, Mayan Astrology. But there's so much. I remember like when we did that book and you were saying there's so much. And I remember in your notes, you were talking about planets and all this other stuff that you had shared with me. And now you're going to get to share it. You're going to get to share it in this course. So once again, everybody, it is Yuriria who's coming back to Synchronicity University. You've got a little time left to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class. This incredible 5-week course with Yuriria. And so, yeah, tell me about what you're going to touch on, because there's 5 parts to this course that you're going to be teaching.
Yes, yes. Of course, we have to start at the beginning. From where did we learned this astrology in the sense of the scholars we studied, and most importantly, the original uh, material there is to learn about the sky from the Maya. The time has passed, and these developments of the Mayan classic writing do help a lot to understand the heavens. And it's what is amazing is that I want to share with you that there have been discoveries of astrologer and astrology school in Guatemala. So they have identified, there are pictures about their drawings and how they dress. It's amazing. They call themselves, the astrologers, they call themselves obsidians. You know, this black stone? And it's very magical, the obsidian. Even it was so popular that even Nostradamus had an obsidian plate to make his predictions. He did order it from Mexico to make his predictions. So the astrologers call themselves the obsidians. Amazing work, isn't it? So I want to share with you how did the observation of the sky develop through the Mayan history to the point that they could have an ephemeris book. The ephemeris we use as astrologers normally and we find easy to work with is called, or the example I'm talking about is the Dresden Codex. So the planets are listed there. The relationship between them is also there. And I want everybody to understand that even though we have the same sky, that we can understand it very clearly as astrologers. There are other cultures that see the world see the sky in from a different point of view. And I want to share that. So we will study, first of all, the history. Second, of course, the zodiac. The zodiac is found in the Paris Codex. It was rescued from a teacher, Mayan original from the zone of Tabasco, from Palenque, around Palenque. Then we will study, of course, the 13 signs, the numerology a little bit, because it seems to be fantastical, the numerology, and that it sprung out of the fascination the Maya had for the numbers. But actually, it sprang from the sky and the relationship between planets. So I want to share with you and to invite people to understand and embark on their own investigations about the heavens and the numbers and the cycles. So I hope I can give you all these information and, of course, the planets to finalize, because they did see the planets in a slightly different way. And I want to share with you so that understanding, so we can enrich our practice. Because if we see and understand that side of the planets that we don't really get to see as Occidental astrologers, then we will reach our predictions, our understanding of what the planet is really doing. So I'm very looking forward, and I'm hoping that I have enough time for everything.
Of course you will. I mean, look, there's so much. One lifetime isn't enough. So we do want to say that.
Yes.
But I'm so excited that you are going to be sharing these different layers of Mayan astrology. Because, I mean, I see that, first it's orienting ourselves. And I know that you and I have talked about how much we, with our Occidental mindset, right? Our Western way of perceiving the sky, we so much want to take these other ways of perception. That's really what it is. Make it fit, with us, but it is its own thing. And that is special. And it really helps to, I think, if you're willing to look at the sky from another perspective of another culture, it connects you to humanity. It's a very powerful thing.
I would think so. And as astrologers, we have a lot to gain because of that. Because we have to fight still to give our knowledge a place in the knowledge of the world. And so to prove that every ancient culture and advanced cultures like the Maya, or even like the Chinese had and India had or Mesopotamia had, the Maya had a different view astrological from the astrological point of view. So if we understand that, we can put forward that our knowledge is not only about sun sign delineations daily and what is happening to me, but I want to share something very special than the Maya. That the Maya thought they were important, that they were going to live forever, that they had a very special place in the scheme of things between planets and the sun and the moon and the stars. So that knowledge of being really in a special place in the world, in time and space, is something we have to incorporate, because we sometimes either we feel that we are in the computer chart, or we are just a sun sign, forgetting we have a moon and ascendant and all that. But we are a very special individual in the universe. And that the Mayans are very clear about that. So let's learn from them.
Yes, let's learn from them. Okay, so for today, even though, again, Yuriria goes in a lot of details in the course itself, but I thought it could be fun to talk about some of the things that actually Yuriria and I discuss in our book. Once again, it's called Mayan Astrology, very straightforward. Mayan Astrology. It is available on Amazon at synchronicitypublications.com and wherever books are sold. And I know a lot of people are interested in knowing their sun sign, like what their Mayan sun sign says about them. So how about we go through that? I know that the Mayans, in Western astrology, it's a lot of like mythological characters, but the Mayans actually took their animals in their space and they associated mythological qualities or spiritual qualities. And those are what we tap into through Mayan astrology.
Yeah, they are indigenous animals. And it's very interesting because there is a reading in one of their in their books in the Chilambalam, where they really say that the ancient gods hung the animals by the mouth in the sky, so humans will learn from them, the best and the worst. So all the animals have this teaching material coming from the stories, from the Mayan language, from the classical Mayan language, from the ceramics, from all what is originally Maya, to understand what they see in the animal. So they have 13 signs according to either the new moon or the full moon that fit in a solar year. So they would start when the Pleiades are together with the sun.
Yuriria, when does the first Mayan sign take place?
The first sign would be the rattlesnake. It starts from the 4th of May to the 31st. And it is very important animal for them because it shows them the renewal of time. The same way the rat is the whole skin, and we will see that in the course, that's the way they understand that the times renew themselves, and that they were certain that they were right in understanding that time had cycles. So a person being born with a rattlesnake way, they say, they call it literally, they have read it, the epigraphers is W-A-Y, way. It would be a person that understands the cycles of times. So it's a very important knowledge for them, because they know when to start and when to finish. And also, it's very important the thing that the rattle sounds like water. And the year will start with the rains coming in. So a person born there would bring feelings from others. The way we understand, it will be tender with others. It won't be hard or evil as we understand it in the West. The next sign would be the rabbit. It would be sort of the answer to the serpent. But I've come to understand so much more about the rabbit, like we discussed, that he's a trickster, that he got to the went to the gods and asked him the biggest god, which is called Itzamna, that please give him something to defend himself, because everybody else had teeth or claws to fight danger or to confront the enemy. So God pats his head and said, "Go home, you will be safe, you'll be safe." How? You will see. And when he got home, he had big ears, so he could hear danger from far away. So people here are very, very keen, very astute. They can hear danger, of course, from far away, and they can react and even be playful about it and wait and move before danger is here. So the rabbit in mythology and even in the Mayan classical faces, you see him being mischievous and stealing their clothes and making jokes on the gods and even swearing. It's very funny to see that. But the people born with Tul, which is the name in Maya, are most of all very clever and very friendly around others, among a lot of other qualities. Next, we have the turtle, which is called in Maya Ak. And the turtle is from the end of June, the 29th of June, to July 25th. And it's very interesting to see the turtle because we, in the West, we picture it as slow and a bit awkward. But the Maya did see the turtle moving very quickly, like they really do move quickly. I've personally witnessed that. And they have a very special thing that they go off to the sea, disappear from the eyes of the Maya, and then suddenly the next year they would be back. And guess what? They put people born with turtle would be capable of going all the way out to the world and then coming back to breed something new, like the turtles. But also, I found that the turtle is very symbolical or very similar. We say in astrology that a sign is reigned by the planet. See? Understand that? So I find that the Maya did give a very important place to the sun, to the turtle, because the sun in the Analema movement, the movement that it does in the sky every year, that is like an 8, it's called Analema. And the Maya did perceive it, and they saw it as the sign of the turtle. I'll show you diagrams in the course. So people born there can see themselves as people that are agile and they can travel a lot and be back. The next sign would be the bat, that called in Maya Tzots. And Tzots goes from July 26th to August the 25th. The sun is really bright and shining at that time, but Tzots is a very special animal for the Maya because since it was living in the cave and in groups, they would teach the Maya that they could have shelter in the caves. The Maya, especially the lowlands, have a lot of caves, and they were a hideout and a shelter for the Maya. And they did follow the bats to the water and dark and freshness from the heat of the sun in Yucatan, which you have experienced. So the person or the man or the woman born in bat sign, they would have a very keen sense of hearing. They do work in groups, and they can be guides for people to shelter and to protect the whole group around them. So it's they were very loved and very admired. The bat in even in classical times, you will see in the examples we get.
Earlier, we were talking about how much I loved and wanted to learn Mayan, all things Mayan, right? I loved it. And I remember, as you said, I went to so many of the sacred sites, the archaeological zones, the pyramids. In the first 2 years, especially that, the second year that I was there, because then I had met my ex, but I had met my partner. And that's what we kind of did every weekend is we hit the road and we went all over the Yucatan and Quintana Roo to find these incredible sites and learn about them. And I saw so many beautiful things, and I'm so grateful for that. But in one location, I'm trying to remember, I think it was Calakmul. I think that's where it was. But just outside of Calakmul, like we stayed in one of the villages in a hotel. What was so interesting, this village was filled with bats. Like there were signs that were showing the bats, and literally like so many bats were there that they were hitting cars and they were dying, and it was really sad that there were like dead bats around, but it was remarkable. And it was beautiful and it was awe-inspiring. So how interesting that the bat is associated with a time that has so much sun, right? When we think about the contrast of that, where we think of it in the West, the bat is in the shadows, right? The bat is Halloween, which is when, we really start moving towards the dark, if you will, towards the winter more and more. And so it's so fascinating, that contrast, but the spiritual meaning ascribed to the bat, and therefore the people born at that time frame, what they can tap into is powerful.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful
and amazing. See, I absolutely agree. And it's they saw the darkness as safety and freshness and survival. That's why. So they did appreciate the bat from very ancient time for more than 1,500 years. So it was very revered. Yeah. So from that point of view, a person born in that place would feel that they can protect others, that they can guide them to safety. It's very important to understand that and differentiate it from the West point of view. Yeah. And the same thing happens for the Scorpio. Most of the scholars assign Scorpio to the same constellation of Scorpio because it's so obvious. But my teacher decided that it was not such that same constellation. It's from the 26th of August to September the 20th. And the Scorpio is not hung from the sky, from the mouth, but from the tail. And it was a very, I would agree with him for the following reason. Maya, Scorpio is called Zek, D-Z-E-K. So Zek would be venom or medicine. So I would agree that it coincides with our Virgo knowledge of truth. And when truth is said at the right time, it's medicine. When it is said at the wrong time, it's venom forever. It can kill. So the truth that the Czech animal, being so watchful, so hidden from, this one is hidden from light, that this is true, but always present in the astrology, in the ceramics, in the paintings, in the sculpture is there. So they would understand this knowledge that if you know something at the right time, it will bring you to light. Than if you learn it in the wrong time, you hide more of yourself. And that's what the Scorpion people from this zodiac will learn. And I'm sure they do. I've asked all around, and they do. They have to learn when to speak their truth. Okay. The following sign would be the deer, which is called Kef in Mayan, Yucatec Mayan. And it's from September 21st to October the 18th. The deer would be very revered animal. That would be almost the only medium-sized animal that would mean food for the Maya. The rest of the animals are very small, the rabbit, the scorpio, the turtle. So the deer would be very revered in the sense that being attentive, of course, very beautiful. Deer people would have their face like a deer, very thin, pointed even like. It's because something I haven't said is that people resemble their animals, even the Maya. You will see that. Okay, so the deer would have these big horns where they would remind, or the instrument the Maya used to understand, to see the sky. So they would say that the gods are imprisoned in the sky in a sort of squares, and the horns of the deer would be used, or could be used, to put it in front of the astronomer and study the stars. You don't point, just look at the sky or that star. You point an instrument and show in the hole what the star you are talking about. So they would think that the deer would be a teacher, some kind of coach that would lead the troop to better things, to nicer things, to refined things. The next sign would be the owl. And even to this day, you would be amazing how scared are Maya Yucatec of the owls. Yeah. And there was a news at the outbreak of 2020 with the pandemics that it was the fault of the owl. So it is amazing. In most, or in many parts of the Mesoamerica, not even Maya, in the west part of the sites, you will see depicted owls, because owl would be the equivalent, or the idea equivalent, to our sots, to our bat, see? Because they are in the dark. They run from October 19th to November the 15th. So they would equate with our dark animal. So they say in Yucatan and in all of Mexico, that when the owl sings, the Indian or someone will die. So they are very serious people. They don't like to be made fun of. They have to learn how to have fun in parties. They have to understand that not everything in life is as serious, but they can see in the dark. They can see very far away with precision as well, whatever they need to. And that thing is the gift for one born there. Then we have the turkey. The turkey, I know you have seen them, but our friends maybe not. It's not the turkey we know, not even the turkey from Thanksgiving, or the royal turkey with the big tail. The turkey is a mountain turkey, it's called, or the hill turkey, which is very colored, as you remember, that has a very blue aquamarine colored skin with green emerald feathers. He does know how to fly, but he does walk a lot. And there are huge number of, in Calakmul as well, huge numbers of them. And they are very proud of themselves. They can show their skin and their head blue, turquoise around. They think of themselves as the most beautiful animals of the jungle, they said. The story goes. So people born there think of themselves like that they are the most beautiful. They outshine everybody. They like to sing, they like to be seen, they like being in love and playing around with love a lot. That would be the turkey. They go from the November 16th to December the 13th. After that, there is shipkai or gar. This is a very special fish that lives in the shallow waters of not the lowlands of Yucatan, but in the middle part, in the classical part. He would be long and shiny, and he would watch in the dark and wait till meat or things come to him, and then he will grab them. And that is very, very telling for me, because first of all, you can see that this is the place of the big Milky Way in the sky. It goes all the way up. It resembles that. The Milky Way is really the main god. It's called Itzamna. But then Shipkai would resemble the part that goes, one part of our Capricorn, between Sagittarius and Capricorn, those stars. By the way, we will study some of the stars pertaining to these signs. So they go from the December 14th to January the 10th. What is the main gift? The main gift is to wait for their opportunity. When the opportunity arrives, they know how to react. So they have to know this, that they have to be ready to react. Otherwise, the opportunity goes away. Then we will find the monkey called bats in Mayan Yucatan from January 11th to February the 7th. These are very skillful people.
That's me. Yes, that's me. I'm a very skillful person. I'm just saying. I'm just joking. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I'm very excited to hear. I hope everybody who's watching this is like, I'm so excited to hear my sign. I'm so excited to know who I am more and more. So yes, I'm the monkey. And monkeys are so cute.
Yeah. And there's another characteristic which you show very well. Monkey, one is very skilled. But the other type of monkey is the howling monkey. So they would, if you want to tell someone something and to let everybody know about it, you tell a monkey, because that howling sound is heard kilometers away. So they understand that people that were born there were natural communicators. So it's you. Okay. That's the bat.
And we like to swing on trees and go everywhere and eat beautiful foods. Yes, I'm just saying.
And talk to everybody. Talk to everybody is most important for you. No?
That's so true.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
And teach everybody. See? Yes, very, very bats-like. Yeah, they are very appreciated. They are so appreciated that they are in the original stories, in the ceramics, in the plates, there is a monkey temple in Chichen Itza, in old Chichen Itza. Not in the part where there's the castillo, but the old part which they recently opened, there's a small temple full of little monkeys. Amazing. Yeah. After the monkey comes the hawk. And here we will clarify why I think it's a hawk and not an eagle. The hawk is a very small, like eagle, not that big, but he is the fastest bird in the jungle. It has been measured, his speed. When he's coming down very fast, he's coming at 300 kilometers per hour. Imagine that the pilots in Formula One get to that speed, and so does the hawk. So Maya would think that the hawk is the intellectual person, the wise people, the ones that were writing and knowing the sky and telling about time. They knew the sky. So people from that period are very knowledgeable intellectually, but they have to learn to find a mate because they are very lonely people. They are from February 8th to March the 8th. But bear in mind that the dates are approximate. And Maya said we have 5 signs with us, that we are 5 signs. The one we are born with and the two next to it that are our allies. So we find some characteristics of each animals according to us, and we are compatible, so to speak. And the ones in front or opposite to it are the ones that are the enemies. And sometimes there are stories, say, for example, the deer and the jaguar, which is the next sign, would be afraid of each other. How can a jaguar be afraid of the deer? Well, the deer is so intelligent that he outsmarted the jaguar. I tell you the story if you get into the course. So the jaguar is the most powerful animal because it's a big feline. It would be the main predator in the zone. And he has a very interesting thing. He attacks going to the head of the prey. So people born with the sign within the sign of the jaguar have a big head, a big face. It's amazing because they have a big like this. And I show you because I'm a jaguar, so it's a big face, and they go to grab the person in the sense of getting to know the knowledge or what the person is about. So people born in the jaguar sign have to tone down or mellow down, not to come across as aggressive person. Mm-hmm. And they are loners, and of course they are masters of the sky in the sense that they move around in the dark, and they have little dots all around it, reminding of the stars. And the last sign would be the dog. Remember that the Mexican or the Mesoamerican dog is a very fatty dog with no skin. There are species, it's called Xoliscuintle, and it was used for many things, mainly for medicinal purposes. Of course, they are loyal like all dogs, but their skin is soft and so warm that, believe it or not, there is cold in Yucatan, on Quintana Roo sometimes. And now we have blankets and we cover ourselves. But in those times, even though they had a big production of cotton, they would need something to eat, and that would be the dog. The sign goes from the 6th of April to the 3rd of March.
Wow, Yuriria, I love you. You are so brilliant. And once again, everybody, remember 2 big things. Yuriria and I have a book called Mayan Astrology. She dives into these animal signs for you and what it means for you in even more detail in that book. So you can check that out wherever books are sold. But of course, the very big news is that Yuriria is coming back to Synchronicity University. And you've got a little bit of time left to choose your tuition rate right until Halloween, as low as just $5 a class. And it is going to be in November 2023 that this 5-week course delving into the mysteries and the magic of Mayan astrology is going to take place, taught by the one and only, the brilliant Yuriria Robles. Yuriria, I love you so much. I benefit from your wisdom so much. And just thank you. Thank you for all of it. It's been so wonderful to work with you and to keep working with you as well.
Thank you, Nadia, with all my heart. You know, I love you and I love your understanding of things, and especially the support you give me and the knowledge for the Maya. Thank you so much from all my heart.
Thank you again, Yuriria. I love you. And thank you, everybody out there, for watching. Until we connect again, take care. Bye.